Welcome to the Barstool College Football Show presented by Phillips Norelco. We are back at it again for Week 8. And Brandon, I'm glad you made it safely here. I want to make sure we're all a happy family before we get into Week 8.
When did you get home?
I got home last night about 9 o'clock.
Oh, not bad.
So I left for good on Monday morning. It took about 16 hours. It was a fun trip. Virginia's beautiful this time of year, but we're not mad at each other, Casey, are we?
I'm not mad at you.
Congratulations on your victory.
Thank you. You are mad at me?
Well, I'm not mad. I mean...
Are you mad at Dan, too?
No, I'm not mad at them. Because you went behind my back to do the bet with them. Mm-hmm. You put raw meat in front of a dog's going to eat it. That's not their fault. Yeah.
Zero idea.
Okay, I didn't know if it was you or Dan, but it was Dan. But if you put raw meat in front of Dan, he's going to eat it.
Well, I mean, the raw meat could have also backfired on me.
We all knew that Mr.
I don't think, I mean, you.
But it's okay. I'm back.
Yeah, and at some point.
They stink.
They stink bad. Yeah, they can't score.
You hear the running back is out because he's been, what has he been doing?
There's locker room issues.
You know it, though.
Is that public?
I do know it.
So will you say it?
No.
Why?
It's not good.
Write it down.
I'll tell you later.
Write it
I'm
down.
not going to write it down.
Let me just react to it.
I'm not going to write it down.
I won't say it. Write it.
What?
Mississippi
Kylan
State's
Hill.
Kylan Hill, their best player, is out.
I'm not writing it down.
Wait a minute.
It's a locker room problem.
Well, this is like we do media stuff.
We do media stuff.
Then what do you
I got this secondhand.
Write it.
This is a Carabas special. I know everything.
There were some locker room confrontations.
Write it down.
No, I'm telling you. I just wrote down.
Because you think you're going to burn your source?
Correct.
What's the point of a source, though? I've never understood that. What is the point of having a source?
The big one.
The
big one. Yeah.
The big one.
Something bigger. Something
Yes,
bigger than
Carabas
this.
ever broken anything.
But this guy, this player is going to be out one more week and he's going to be back. It's not that big of a deal.
Oh, he's not out for the rest of the season?
We have a bye week and then we have Alabama.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, so he's out for Alabama?
He's going to be back very, very soon. It doesn't matter. He's just a running back. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
They're donezo.
We're not very good. And I'm back. And it's good to see everybody.
You shouldn't have shaved. That's my only problem.
I know you had a nice scrub.
I know you kind of.
I know it looks nice.
I look good.
It looked like I thought it was KFC / Feidelberg / OMB when I was watching those videos.
Who's OMB?
Office Manager Brett.
One of the great idiots of our generation.
That's what I've heard.
Fluffy head.
But we had a nice time in Mississippi.
We did. Wasn't it wonderful? So everybody shits on Starkville. Was Starkville a great time?
It's beautiful.
Casey also has the lowest standards in the history of standards when it comes to like great towns.
What is that supposed to mean?
You've said on the record before, if you can get a beer, you're like, call it a great
I
state.
have never said that.
Yeah,
Where did I say that?
Maybe Texas Tech, Lubbock.
No, I said I hated Lubbock.
There's some place where it's like you're basically, if you have one college bar, you're like, oh, it's a great
Well, I mean, yeah, if you have fun at a college bar. But I mean, my favorite college town is Madison. I think my standards are pretty high.
Did you see the food I ate, though?
Wait, I have a question about
Starkville,
Starkville.
by all accounts, is the worst college
By
town
no
in the SEC.
accounts. By no accounts.
By all accounts.
You can ask everybody that went. We had a great time.
That little, like the stretch where it looks like it's almost like New Orleans. Is it just one block? It's like half a block.
It's 2 blocks. It's called the Cotton District.
Yeah,
and it's a wonderful place. There's about 10 bars.
Why is it called the Cotton District?
Because that was the name of it back in the day. And it doesn't matter. It's 10 blocks. It's 2 blocks, 10 bars, 8 restaurants. It's wonderful.
And by the way, this like the A&M Mississippi State. That's not like you guys have the bad, but that's not a natural rival. So there's no reason to be mad.
There was no hatred whatsoever.
Right. Well, why would there be?
It was a bad game.
Yeah.
Looked like a beautiful day, though.
Beautiful day.
The only thing to potentially not like each other about is your uniforms are too similar.
They're the exact same.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We actually had to clear up. I thought we were in the white for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, good stuff. So this week, though, the Big Ten is back. You guys excited about that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm excited for football. I'm not excited for Michigan, but I'm excited for Big Ten being back.
It's going to be awesome.
I have a question about Michigan. This is the least exciting I've ever seen Michigan come into a season. Do you feel that too?
Yes.
I don't really feel anything.
In the
I don't have a feel
era.
in the Harbaugh era. I don't feel anything about Michigan this year.
I think a lot of fans were probably like me. I think I said they were dead to me. If they didn't, I mean, they didn't just lose to Ohio State. Last year they got killed. They get killed every single year by Ohio State. They're nowhere near it. I feel like some of the quotes, if I remember, like, "Hey, we tried hard," and it's just, it's tough. It's tough when you get your fucking dicks kicked in every single year. So, yeah, until they beat Ohio State, it's hard to be remotely. We are just a middle of the pack team. We like to think, hey, Michigan, Ohio State, we're not. But still, as a Michigan fan, it's tough to like trigger your brain that we got to be happy going to the Cheerio Bowl every year. But that is what it is, and the Michigan fans who accept that are losers, and there are a lot of them out there who do. I won't, but it's not exciting. It's
Does it help at all though that Jim Harbaugh really wanted to play? Because no, just not.
He always wants to play.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Harbaugh as a guy and as a
play.
coach, but at some point, you can't lose by 100 every single year to Ohio State.
That's fair. Big Ev, how are you feeling? You've been having that shit-eating grin over there.
I'm giddy. College football's been back, but now it's back. Now the board is full. It just feels great.
They're not going to.
No, but I
they're
want them
head
to
and
fall on
shoulders
their
better. Well, Penn State would have been a test, but now
Penn State is that's week 2.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of did that on purpose to like validate one of the Big Ten teams, obviously starting so late. But I mean,
And they're starting running backs out now for the year, right?
yeah, I mean, no, I think Ohio State, I think they're minus 220 to win the conference. I think that's free money.
That does seem light.
Yeah, well, speaking of Ohio State, let's get into the High Noon weekend preview. High Noon Hard Seltzer keeps it real just like we do. Keep this game changer on deck for home gating, watch parties, or any day drinking opportunities. Real vodka, real juice for real fans just like us. So let's start with Nebraska at number 5, Ohio State. Ohio State's favored by 26.5, the total at 67.5. Nebraska was in the headlines a lot over the offseason because Scott Frost was thinking about seceding away from the Big Ten.
I think he was going to secede from the United States.
Yeah, he was not happy about that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Ohio State coming in as a national title contender and Justin Fields being a part of that, really wanting to play in 2020. Dave, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, it's the We Want to Play Bowl. Nebraska's been so bad. I, for the sake of the Big Ten, you want a good Nebraska. And, it's a school that doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense why they're not great, because that's all they got. I feel like they can get any recruit they want. It is Nebraska. Having said that, they have been so bad. I'll take Ohio State, but I don't know how you can have confidence in any of these Big Ten games, not really understanding how much practice time, all this shit. But I'll go with Ohio State because I don't want to be the guy who wakes up on the wrong side of the law here, and it's like 60-0 Ohio State. So I'll take Ohio.
Yeah, I think Ohio State's going to win this pretty easily. They have been practicing. I mean, the Big Ten should look, obviously it's the first week, but it should look decent. I think the Pac-12 is going to be a totally different case like that. We don't know what they've been doing. But the Big Ten has been practicing. Remember when they got canceled initially in August, the rule was out there that they get to practice 20 hours a week, which everyone's like, well, that doesn't make sense. Just play the games. So
They've never stopped practicing.
Yeah, there was never really a break. So I think it will look good. And Ohio State, it is truly college football playoff or bust. If they don't get to the college football playoff, this was an absolute failure of a season. So with that in mind, knowing that they have to kind of put the pedal to the metal quickly, I think they will kill Nebraska.
They did lose a lot of talent, right, on defense?
They have like 40.
Yeah, but I mean, we reload every year.
40% of their
All the
return.
all the linebackers are back.
Cornerback that they had was
Shaun Wade,
spectacular.
Yeah.
very good. All the linebackers are back. The D line definitely has a lot of turnover. The secondary has a lot of turnover. But I mean, it's listen, Bama, Ohio State, Clemson.
Justin
Every
Fields.
year
We
we're
lost
gonna have.
J.K. Dobbins as well.
There's going to be 2. Yeah, but we also Master Teague. I mean, he ran for
When
almost
you
1,000
recruit
yards
that
last
well.
year.
Oh, well, let me tell you something. Big Ev. When they put Master Teague in the game versus Dobbins, their offense couldn't do dick against Clemson last year. They needed Dobbins in there.
No, that's fair. We also got the Oklahoma transfer, Trey Sermon. I think it's going to be a committee this year more than it probably has been in the past, for sure. But I mean, good receivers, obviously
Yeah, they're
Fields.
fucking good. You have no recruits, there's no laws, no nothing. You're good.
So,
Brandon?
I'm kind of wishful thinking. I want to pick Nebraska too, but instead I'm going to go over because I do think Ohio State's probably good for 50, and I think Nebraska, third year under Scott Frost, third year with this quarterback, I think they're going to be able to score some points finally.
Who's the quarterback?
Adrian Martinez.
Adrian Martinez.
That guy's been there for $100.
Huge hype last year. He's only a junior.
Well,
but
because
yeah.
Taylor Martinez
Yeah,
was their quarterback before.
Yes.
He had huge hype last year. He didn't live up to it, but I'm saying post-hype sleeper, they can score points over 67.5 this
Do
year.
you think Adrian Martinez will live up to any hype this year?
I don't think he has any hype this year.
Well,
I think it's very quiet.
Okay.
Last year, he was supposed to be the second coming, and
Yeah.
they didn't do it. And now I think he can settle into what he was going to be the whole time.
There's no hype when you're a 27-point dog.
Yeah. I'm going to take Ohio State as well. This is them coming in needing to prove to the committee that they belong there, and of course, like Justin Fields has had to sit and watch Trevor Lawrence play.
When does Ohio State ever need to prove?
I was just going to say, they don't have to
the
prove
Big Ten.
dick.
No, they don't have to. It's more of like they've been sitting there waiting, and the committee is going to have to choose like between how many games have been played and whatever.
They're
else.
not, because as
Well,
long as
Ohio
they're
State's gonna-
undefeated,
The
because
committee
it's
will-
like everyone else sucks.
The
Like,
reason
it's
I'm
Until
saying
Ohio
yes,
State prove they're not good.
I don't think that they're going to like just come out and just win the game. I think that they're just going to shellac them in order to make a statement.
I don't think you can bank on that in week 1. I may be wrong, but
I mean, that's my pick.
What I'll say about the college football playoff this year, Big 12 has kind of canceled itself out already.
Right.
Like Oklahoma State's undefeated. I think that Ohio State, if they're undefeated, they're in.
Done.
But you're basically what they're going to try to do is make sure that they run up the score so that if
Right.
they do have one loss, they can still possibly be in, which is a possibility given that Georgia lost to Georgia's going to lose twice to Alabama. So they're not going to put Georgia in.
We don't even know how
I
good
kind of disagree
Georgia
with that.
is.
I kind of disagree with
But
that.
You don't
that's-
think
but
Georgia's
that's-
going to lose twice to
No,
Alabama?
I think Georgia could beat Alabama in the rematch. Once JT Daniels
What's
establishes
up?
himself,
What did you see in that game that made you think that
they were up 24-20 at the half. They got
Alabama-
destroyed in the second half, but
Okay.
I think they would be okay if they had a better quarterback situation. Stetson Bennett forgot how to play second half. If JT Daniels comes back and is good, Georgia can beat that team.
But
I don't know.
that's
They lost by
that,
17.
but that,
They lose by 70.
I understand, but Georgia, they'll never beat Alabama.
It was 24-20 at the half. That was a game at the half.
Yeah,
Alabama all
I
the
just
second
don't
half.
think. I think if you're telling yourself that Georgia's going to beat Alabama, so if you do that calculation, just follow me along for a second. Georgia doesn't beat Alabama because they never beat Alabama, and Nick Saban never loses to assistants. So you have Alabama in,
Right.
Notre Dame and Clemson possibly. Pac-12 is not going to play probably. Pac-12 doesn't have enough games as stands.
Right, there's 6
They're
games.
hoping that someone lets them in. So there could be a one-loss Big Ten title champion team.
There could
Right,
be,
which is-
but
which
That's
is my-
a very good possibility.
Right.
well,
See,
but that's
why you
that's
gotta
my
put
point.
on you gotta
so that's
really
my
put
point
it
of why
on
they
them.
need to come in and just
Right.
run up the score.
Yeah,
that
but
was my whole point.
there's no chance Ohio State's sitting in the locker room at 0-0 being like, we got to kill them in case we have one loss.
Well, no,
No.
but it is going to go back to who has made the most statement games
Even
because
if they
they're
kill
not.
them, they kill them. It has nothing to do with the committee.
I agree with that.
I think style points are back.
Yeah, what I mean.
That's that.
Okay, so in your scenario, if Georgia beats Alabama and they have one loss, and Ohio State loses to Penn State, but they've not been running up the score, who would you put in?
But in that scenario,
there's room for
nothing
both of them at that
matters.
point.
Nothing matters.
But
In
if
that
everybody else is
scenario, Georgia's going in.
Okay, so then it would be
But
Alabama,
it doesn't
Clemson,
matter.
Notre Dame.
You're saying
Georgia.
a one-loss
Yeah,
Ohio
Georgia.
State?
Yeah.
Georgia going
No
to
doubt.
beat Alabama.
Yeah, no doubt.
So that's
well,
why-
they'd be the champion of the SEC.
Yes,
That's
correct.
right.
I do think style points are a thing.
one-loss Big Ten champion Ohio State will be in this year, no matter what happens elsewhere.
Even if
Unless there's just a
Clemson-
crazy
even if-
amount of undefeated teams that
Even if
we don't see coming.
Clemson, Alabama, and Notre Dame.
Well, how can
Notre Dame and Clemson
They
play each
Oh,
other.
yeah, that's
too.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
I just think it's
style
early
points.
to be like they're doing things for the committee.
No, I think
No,
that
it's
they're-
not for the committee, but I do think that Ohio State is chomping at the bit, and they want to
Yes.
get out there and they want to start.
They want to run up the score. They want to step on the gas from the beginning.
That's
My
fine.
point. That was my point. Number 23,
Well, you
NC
said committee.
because they're trying to make a statement that they're really fucking good.
Yeah, but that's a statement they try to make every week.
There's no.
Style points are a thing. Why are we still arguing about this?
I don't know.
Are style points a thing?
I mean, I just see it as if they lose a game, I don't think they're going to in the playoff.
Oh,
I don't think.
Why?
I think it'd be tough.
How are we doing this in October? Saying
I'm on Brennan's.
No, I
The
just,
end of
half a
October. What are you
but I'm not
talking about?
for this game. I don't think they're.
teams are still winning and losing at the same clip they've always been.
Ohio
understand
State's
that
going to try to
less-
kill Nebraska,
there's
Less Big
there's
Ten
8
games.
but there's nothing
less
changing.
games to prove.
Ohio State's going to try to win by.
Well, right, but they have less games to prove their resume than the SEC or the ACC or the Big 12.
Ohio State might be a bad example because Ohio State pours on anyone and everyone they can. But I do think that with less games, the pressure to
Run up the score.
beat teams convincingly is ratcheted up. You just don't have the margin for error. is
If
small.
you have one loss, I can see that.
Ohio
Opening game.
State's a bad example because they do run it up on everyone.
Right.
Right.
The only reason I said that is because I was picking them to cover the spread. Let's go to number 23, North Carolina State. At number 14, North Carolina. North Carolina coming off a huge upset loss to Florida State, but they are favored by 16.5. That total at 60.5. Now, NC State does not have their starting quarterback in Devin Leary anymore. They're going to have Bailey Hockman taking those snaps. So, Dan, what do you think about North Carolina?
I like North Carolina a lot in a bounce back. I think NC State's pass defense is bad, very bad. They gave up like 400 yards to Pitt in the air, and North Carolina can pass the ball. Sam Howell, I still believe. And you know what? Like that second half, they were very close to winning that game. Those drops on that last drive, 3 drops in a row. The third to last one was borderline tough play to make, but the other two were just out and out, like in your hands, drops. So UNC most likely gets to overtime there, or if not wins in regulation. I think you're going to get a good effort from them. I'll take the over as well.
Brandon?
Yeah, so I agree with him. I think it's a great bounce back spot. I don't like that the number's so big, but NC State has won games because Devin Leary was so good. He's out. Bailey Hockman's been their quarterback before and never been any good at all. North Carolina minus 16.5.
Dave?
I know nothing about the backup. I actually, from a Vegas perspective, it gives me confidence in North Carolina that the line's this big because it screams to me they think it's going to be a blowout. They're screaming, take NC State, who is playing okay. I don't know anything about the quarter. I'll take Carolina, but I like the over more. Actually, give me the over, 60.5.
Yeah, and North Carolina's going to come out probably pretty pissed off. And Stats Katie tells me that these two fan bases hate each other even more than anybody
Stats
understands.
Katie?
Yeah. Katie Stats?
Oh.
The savant. What is it? Katie Stats?
Well, I like to say Katie State.
More than North Carolina Duke?
She said that these two teams like fucking hate each other.
I would imagine.
In football, I think this
In
is their
football.
biggest rival.
Yeah.
I don't think the
Okay,
NC.
she's just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, for football, yes.
I can see that.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, I can see that. North Carolina, they're either going to kill them or they're just going to quit on the season. I mean, that is deflating to go from like we're in the national championship hunt theoretically to out when you don't see it. But
Especially against Florida State.
Right.
I'm going to take UNC as well. Number 9, Cincinnati, and number 16, SMU. Now, Cincinnati hasn't played in 21 days. The last time they played, they beat USF. SMU with an overtime win versus Tulane, and Shane Buechele getting that Heisman hype a little bit. Brandon, I know you're a big Shane Buechele guy. What do you
I'm
think?
a big Shane Buechele guy. He should be the quarterback of Texas right now, but he is very good. He should be in the Heisman conversation. He's awesome. He had a big win against Memphis a couple of weeks ago. I like the under because Cincinnati plays very, very good defense, even though Shane Buechele is great. I like
Totals
SMU.
at 57.5.
I like SMU to win, a minus 2.5, and I like the under because I think Cincinnati's going to ugly it up. They won't have enough offense to win the game in the end.
Dan?
I'm going to take Cincinnati. I think they are going to ugly it up. And I think uglying it up will work in this case.
Dave?
I will also take Cincinnati. This is just a line play to me. I kind of like when the home slight dog, it's like, okay, SMU, they're going to pop up. They're at home. This is a big game for them. If the line was like 5, I'm on SMU. When it's under 3, I switch to the road team. I'll take Cincinnati.
I don't
It's
know
all
if
math.
Yeah, I don't know if the 21-day thing is going to help Cincinnati or not, but I believe in Shane Buechele, so I'm going to take SMU at minus 2.5. We're going to get to more games in just a little bit, but we're going to switch it up. We're going to go to One Blade Trivia with Brandon Walker.
Ooh.
Make sure you head to a store near you to check out the new Trim It to Win It promo available nationwide. Pick up a specially marked One Blade Barstool pack, and you could win up to $1,000 in the Barstool store. Every pack is a winner, so get your Barstool merch while supplies last in store near you.
All right, last week's winner was Sam Perlin from Memphis. Hashtag One Blade Trivia on Twitter. The first one with the correct answer gets a Barstool merch pack, One Blade Norelco, and a friend of mine won it once, and he actually DM'd me a picture of what he got. Great merch pack, so please get in on this. Here's the question. The quarterback that holds the record for most passing touchdowns in MAC history played on a team that is no longer in the MAC.
Oh,
Who's
it's
that
Chad
quarterback?
Pennington.
Byron Leftwich.
It was Chad Pennington. That
Yeah,
was too easy.
Very easy.
I tried to step it back a little
Thought
bit.
I had it with Leftwich.
Okay, all right.
I knew you had it with Pennington by his reaction,
Yeah.
but Leftwich was already
It
coming.
would be second, yeah.
All right, this current NFL starting quarterback set the Mountain West record with 50 touchdown passes in 2013. Who was it?
Andy Dalton.
This current.
Oh, wait. Sorry.
Starting-
Wait, was TCU in the Mountain West then? But that was, Andy Dalton was 2009.
It's not him anyway.
Yeah, no, but I'm right.
They were.
They were.
It was.
They were, but
That was 2009, though.
right.
Carr?
Also never set the record. What'd you say?
Carr?
All right, that is
Good
correct.
one.
The final question, which
Good
is
one,
what we will
Dave.
go with. I did step back. Last week's were a little too hard, so maybe I stepped too easy.
When I get it, it's easy. I'm very bad at trivia.
Yeah, Derek Carr was the answer. And this is the one for the people. It's Googleable and somebody, One Blade Trivia, hashtag One Blade Trivia. The Rose Bowl is the oldest bowl game. What was the first year the Rose Bowl was played? That is your question.
Granddaddy of them all.
Hashtag One Blade Trivia. Played some 30 years before any other bowl game was even played.
All right, let's go back into the High Noon Weekend Preview. We're going to talk about Dave's number 18 Michigan Wolverines versus number 21 Minnesota. Now, Joe Milton is at quarterback for Michigan. Michigan's favored by 3.5. The total 54.5. What do you think?
Who?
Joe Milton.
Oh, wait.
Who the fuck's that?
That's your quarterback.
That's your quarterback, yeah.
Who is
Dylan McCaffrey opted out.
Where's this kid from?
He's athletic.
Who is
Played
he?
a little bit.
Has he?
Yeah, a little tiny bit.
I know
Wait,
less
I
about
think
this
I
Michigan team than I've ever known about a Michigan team.
Who the hell is this guy?
His name is Joe Milton. He's your quarterback.
Listen, I'm going to root for Michigan. I think they're going to lose this game by double figures. Who the fuck is Joe?
You laughing and saying yeah over here?
I'm saying, yeah, Minnesota's going to win, yes.
I just
Their favorite
it's
big
the
fucking
only
laughing.
thing.
You idiot.
What?
They're favored.
No, they're dogs.
No, Michigan's favored.
Yeah.
Minnesota's dogs.
No.
Yeah,
Are they?
Michigan's favored by
that's
3.5.
crazy.
But Dave, that's why I kind of like
Who
Michigan.
the fuck is Joe Milton?
He's your
Dave.
quarterback.
Back.
How long has he been on the team? Who is
Where's
this?
Katie?
Google's
Katie's not
going.
here.
Oh, Shea Magic never graduated.
I
I think Shea Magic graduating is why Michigan's going to be better this year.
I'm gonna take
That's
Minnesota,
all I
but this
believe.
is starting to like Big Ed being like Minnesota's gonna win.
Laughing that smirk.
And that,
Yeah.
like that's starting to me. I'm starting to think Michigan might win this game.
All right, let's take Michigan then.
Fuck.
Who the hell is this? 6'5".
Oh, a nice big boy.
Yeah.
He looks good in his uniform.
When
does.
did Dylan
Who the hell is
McCaffrey
this
opt
guy?
out?
Oh, he's from Pahokee, Florida. It's a good football factory.
He's
I
Who
remember
is this?
that name from high school.
who? Joe Milton?
Yeah.
It just kind of just sounds like a football player's name. Are you sure it's him?
No,
you
he's
remember?
going to be great. I'm going.
Okay.
Oh, it's not my turn.
go
I'm
ahead.
going to step in line.
I'm gonna take the under. Actually, that'll be my pick for this game.
54.5.
I think it's an incredible letdown spot for Minnesota. They're coming in with more hype than they've come in with.
Letdown.
Wait, what?
Letdown
That's the
spot.
most insulting thing ever said about the University of Michigan. And I've
Not
said
only that, but
No,
how
no,
can
no,
I
no.
go let down
Bad things
spot?
about
myself.
on
But how-
Maybe I said the wrong word. What I'm saying is maybe they're coming in with huge hype after their biggest year in
Yeah.
forever. They're coming in with
Oh,
so much hope. I
they're
think
gonna let down their fans.
They're going to get let down from the beginning. Yes, that's what I mean. It's not a classic letdown spot the way we talk
They're
about
not looking past Michigan. You're saying that they're going to be
hype.
overrated.
I'm
The
saying
hype.
they're going to be overrated.
Okay.
They're overhyped. That is what
Okay.
I should have said.
That's okay. That's
Yeah. So, and I think Michigan. I like Michigan as the favorite. I'm going Michigan minus 3.5.
What do you think about Tanner Morgan? He's a redshirt junior. It feels like he's been there for
He's just a
17
guy.
years too.
He's just a guy. Now
Well, they
so-
lost their offensive coordinator too, Minnesota. That is.
and they lost a
They
ton.
Penn
On,
State.
they lost a ton on defense. They got Rashad Bateman back. He's one of the best receivers in the Big Ten. He's going to be great, but I just like Michigan.
I like Michigan too. Dave, you still think they're gonna lose by double digits? Or?
Well, I'm reading up on my Joe Milton. So they're saying that
Michigan lost the most in the Big Ten. by the
Dylan McCaffrey
Or second.
transferred
Michigan State.
because
think that's
I thought he opted out.
I thought he opted out too.
Did McCaffrey transfer or opt out?
I thought he
opted
opted
out,
out.
right?
Yeah.
A talented singer called Milton's emergence was reportedly behind the transfer of quarterback contender Dylan McCaffrey.
Well, he opted out of being on the team.
I think he opted out in general, but again, I don't
He opted
know.
out of Michigan.
I'm reading here, it says he reportedly decided to transfer.
He's transferred. He's no longer.
To where?
Yeah, I'm reading
Milton's
it.
Yeah.
magic, Dave. Joe Milton might be your number one guy after
Milton's the
Saturday.
guy.
Yeah.
He opted out and is seeking a transfer. He hasn't
Oh,
decided.
so he's opted out and
He has-
maybe
he-
will transfer.
He's saying he's going to seek transfer. He just hasn't decided where he's going to go.
But he's not playing in 2020.
No, he's not playing this.
Okay, so he opted out.
4'6", 6'5", 243, runs a 4'6".
That's a big boy.
Big.
How's he
yeah.
throw the ball? You want to see some passing highlights real quick?
All right, I'm on
his
Michigan.
huddle tape.
I'm on Michigan.
Yeah, I mean that. Honestly,
on
when we
Michigan.
did pick 'em, I said
laugh.
Minnesota. Big Ev's laugh
No.
That
changed
dismissive
everything
laugh.
in my head.
Yeah,
That's
I
fair.
agree.
Like everything. The way he laughed about like Minnesota's gonna win. Like everyone's thinking that. And when everyone thinks an underdog's gonna win, they never.
I'm
ever,
on
ever
Michigan.
win.
I'm on Michigan. This kid, Joe Milton.
Yes.
I'm seeing everything. I don't know who Nico Collins is, but on Joe Milton, he's an NFL caliber quarterback. All right, fuck it. I'm in on this kid. Milton's magic.
Let's go. Milton's magic.
And Big Ev, you're
Milton
taking.
tough.
Oh, Milton.
Hey.
Oh, there you go.
I mean,
David
that
writes
was,
itself.
That wrote itself.
Get,
wrote itself.
Welker, get that idiot on the phone.
Milton tough.
Milton tough.
Now, you can never go against him.
With the Michigan M. That's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that's.
That's more electric
And-
than
How
do we not
magic.
think-
And,
right away.
and no copyright.
Right.
Like anyone's car. No, that's like Milton tough. It's our
Right,
thing. I will
right.
sue you.
Right.
I love it. Big Ev, you're going to take Minnesota money line?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I agree the line is probably is a trap.
Cocky.
Still like that.
It's just. It's.
Listen,
look,
I'm
sometimes you can just tell
accepting.
by someone's
I'm
laugh.
accepting it probably is a trap line, but I'm going to walk into the trap.
Okay.
Give me Minnesota.
I'm going to go with the Milton tough thing, too. I think Michigan's going to win and cover. With the last game of the week, let's go number 17, Iowa State, at number 6, Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State favored by 3.5, the total at 52.5. Oklahoma State also has not played in 21 days. They last played Kansas, and they beat them in early October. And then Iowa State coming off a bye week, but their last win was when they took down Oklahoma, proved that Oklahoma was not the team that some people, not named Brandon, thought that they were. So, Brandon, I know you've been a big Iowa State guy. What are you thinking about this game?
I am a big Iowa State guy. I like Iowa State. Also like Oklahoma State. I thought they were going to win the Big 12 coming into the season. Their offense isn't nearly as good as I thought, but their defense is one of the best in the country. It's the best in the Big 12. That's why under 52.5 is the play here. Brock Purdy has shown that he gets in trouble against good defenses. And Oklahoma State, I don't think, can score that much. Under 52.5 is going to be a slugfest.
I like that pick, especially the fact that Oklahoma State hasn't played in forever with the COVID.
They've got great offensive talent, but they haven't put it together this year.
I'm going to take Iowa State plus 3.5. And give me the under with Brandon.
Okay. Dave?
Iowa State. The Big 12 is just a knockoff league, meaning like anybody who's at the top of the heap quickly goes to the bottom of the heap. Yeah, right. You can't stay on top. So I think Oklahoma State will lose this game, and then you got a big pile of mush again.
I'm going to take the under. I do think it's going to be tough to score. I just don't understand. I mean, maybe Spencer Sanders has figured it out over the last 21 days, but we talked about that offense.
Well, he had to get healthy, too. He had some trouble coming out of that first game against Tulsa.
Right.
He had to get healthy.
So that's what I'm saying. Maybe in the last 21 days, that offense will look completely different, but I'm just going to stick with the under. Let's go to the viral moments of the week with Big Ev, who's just been smiling nonstop this entire show.
It's a great week. The Big Ten's back. It's a good week. First viral moment of the week down in Tennessee in Knoxville. A player on Tennessee flat out just kicked the Kentucky player in the balls.
Oh, yeah. This is the frustration in Tennessee right now.
Just like blatantly. Dave, you had some trouble with Tennessee last weekend, huh?
Yeah, that fucking loser, Big T. I was telling Dan, so I was doing a cheesesteak review, came back, it was halftime of Tennessee, Kentucky, and Big T's like elbows me. He's like, Tennessee's definitely going to win this game. Like, he's like, you have to bet on Tennessee.
At halftime.
Yeah, and I was like, what? I was like, what? He's like, yeah, it's like the most dominating. There's no way Kentucky should be up. There's no way they're going to lose. I confirmed it with Marty. He's like, yeah. When I say Kentucky kicked the shit out of them in the second half.
It was ugly.
That was a shocking game to me.
You didn't tell me the part about confirming with Marty. So that means your brain trust was Big T and Marty Mush.
Yep.
The way that Big T said, Big T said they gained, and maybe they did. He's like they gained like 5 total yards.
He was wearing a big orange shirt with a T on.
Yeah, he's a
Do you
loser.
know what's happening though at the gambling house, Dave? The problem is, I think a lot of the youngins, they see you doing the eyeballs, they think they have the same ability.
They don't have that.
Because they don't have that.
the eyeballs.
Like
The eyeballs.
I don't even have. I have it sometimes, but not really.
I told him the Mississippi State A&M. I watched 3 plays and bet the house on A&M.
I would have agreed with you wholeheartedly when you did that.
You said that.
But Big T doesn't have eyeballs when it comes to Tennessee.
No,
He has a
I
think that
honestly,
they do.
I was caught off guard. Like, was happening so fast, and then I did it. It was domination in that second half.
But then Big T ended up becoming your good luck charm.
Well, he's a loser.
Because he won against it.
Everything he roots for loses.
He had a Braves jersey on too, right? Is that?
Yeah, he had Tennessee, and he switched to Braves, and so I took the Dodgers, even though I didn't like it. And like I think the first 3 pitches, 2 were home runs. I mean, he is a big loser.
Poor Big T.
I like him, but he's a loser. And by the way, he's becoming my good luck charm.
A loser can be a winner.
Oh,
He's a lovable loser who can be a winner for you.
Yes,
okay.
correct.
Moment
So
number 2.
Are you looking now for Tennessee on the card every week to just go against them?
Well, no, that was a game he thought he was going to win. I mean, you saw his quote, right? Where I'm like, because something happened. He showed
0%.
He showed no emotion, and I'm like, Big T, you're usually so like animated. It's like, this is like Kentucky. We are so much better than we don't get up for the Kentucky, South Carolinas, Missouris, like acting like they're Bama. It was wild.
Is 0% equal to the G word? Like when he says it's 0%, is it like him guaranteeing a Tennessee win?
I don't remember what he said. Did he say?
He said 0%.
Did he say there was 0% chance they lose or 100% chance they win?
I think he said 0% they lose.
Beginning of the game.
Yeah.
He said 0% they lose.
Oh, I didn't hear that. He just was.
I thought you tweeted that. Maybe not.
I tweeted the clip. He just thumbed his nose.
Yeah, he just
like
scoffed
that
at the
Kentucky
idea of
would
losing.
even have the arrogance to show up.
And they beat the piss out of
The
them.
piss out of him.
I mean, he claimed that Tennessee and Auburn were the same caliber of football.
Correct,
program,
yes,
which
he
was
did.
insanity.
He
Well,
lives.
they're both
He's
bad.
a very typical college football lunatic.
I mean, we
Right.
basically had an intervention with him to realize that they're like a lower middle class SEC team.
Jesus.
crazy.
He was convinced they're like in that like second tier under like Bama, LSU, and Georgia.
Yeah.
Insane. Moment number 2, Ev.
Moment number 2, this Memphis fan somehow snuck into the band with no instrument and was just going nuts as the clock's counting down, about to beat UCF, big comeback win, electric.
Just chilling, huh?
Like I'm pretty sure this is just a random guy. Like I don't think he's in the band.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he was in the band either, Big F. By the fact he was not remotely dressed like he was in the band, and he held
didn't
no
have an
instrument, and he was making a scene.
Okay.
Good call, though. Ohio State education.
Moment number 3.
In the Alabama game, Saban's going crazy. The ref comes over to Nick Saban and immediately just throws the mask on. It's like he's over. I thought it was hilarious.
I mean, Nick Saban did somehow cure his own COVID over the week.
I'm sure that's what happened.
What happened? They lied. You
sacrificed
think they
his
lied?
He had his own people doing tests.
Yeah. I mean, somehow. Do you think he ever tested positive?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
it was probably positive every time he tested. But
Saban's
he's in
bigger than
Alabama.
college football.
He's
Like,
bigger
that's
than
just-
he's bigger than college football. He's bigger than COVID.
Yeah.
Moment number 4, Ev.
Last one, Arkansas head coach Sam Pittman was an all-time rally cry,
guy.
ending speech after they beat
love
Ole
this
Miss.
guy.
I guess I'm
How can you not like
Oh,
I mean,
Brandon.
I didn't
So
think he
bad
did
at
good.
judging like
I am.
fun college football characters.
I am.
What is that about you?
I don't know. I should have seen this guy. Fat guy. And
He's
it's gotta
fucking
be
awesome.
First thing I want to do, I want to stand up for the Razorback Nation. I want to call the damn Hogs as a team. Y'all ready?
good. That's just ridiculous.
Turn that damn jukebox on!
I mean, they seem to like him a
Why
lot,
did that
too.
kid have pads on?
Why don't you like Sam Pittman?
I like him now. I mean, that's likable.
You hated Ed Ogeron. You hate Sam Pittman.
I
What
just,
is it?
I don't
And Mike
know. I have a
Leach.
bad fat guy IQ, I guess.
It's crazy, man. Same players, pretty much.
It is.
Just to
It's
turn it
weird.
around shows how important
But
coaching is.
in Arkansas, I mean, they have like same players, but they do recruit decent. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's not like they were 100th in recruiting.
Well, yeah.
They're just getting something out of these guys.
They had some great individual players last year. Like their running back was.
What are they?
second.
They're like top 35 in recruiting. They have
Yeah,
to.
they're always around
Right,
there.
so-
You can't be in the SEC West and not be in the top
Right.
35 in recruiting. So they're always there. Big Ev, I did have one question.
Yep.
You didn't have a moment there
Oh,
that happened at our game.
I was about to set that up.
Which one is that?
So
see
there,
it?
2 girls rushed the field at the A&M
had
Mississippi State
streakers.
game. There were streakers with clothes on, but one of them pulled a
not
full-blown Dave Portnoy move and went limp and made the cops
right.
drag her
We had
out.
streakers.
So what are they?
They're
They're
PETA.
PETA.
They're
They're
PETA.
PETA.
Texas A&M apparently does dog testing.
Well, that's not good.
I
It's
know.
definitely not good. But
Nobody.
Oh, so
man.
we get
Like
tackled.
form tackled
She goes
her,
limp,
and
and
then-
they have to drag her out by her legs.
yeah,
Play.
yeah, she never gets up.
She holds
Yeah.
the sign up too.
Well, you know, again, as somebody, we got a couple people experience on this panel. Dan with getting peated, and me with going limp. The advantage in that situation, you know how it's going to end. So even when I went limp, like I had the previous experience at media day where I'm like, I should have fucking gone limp. If that ever happens, I'm going limp. When you run on the field like that, you know how it ends. So she already knows, like, I'm going limp.
And PETA people are just crazy.
Yeah, they're crazy.
They'll do anything.
All-time moment when you got peated.
The
Yeah,
other,
big time PETA.
the other girl did. She just stopped though. As soon as she saw them coming after her, she
yeah, she
stopped.
couldn't take the hit.
No.
The first girl took the hit. The second girl couldn't take the hit.
The first girl took a form tackle, just
Yeah.
straight up. I mean, PETA they're just crazy, but apparently they can take a hit.
Also,
so.
you guys probably need to stop dog testing.
I don't know if that's true, but
It's
if
a
it
Texas
is-
A&M stop cruel dog testing.
No, if it is true, I mean that's really fucked up. I just don't know if it's true. I should probably do some
Yeah,
research.
you got to
on
stop with that.
Well, yeah, for
Shout out
sure.
all time, another Barstool, Wally the dog. Like, it's one of my favorite side stories of Barstool. They were doing testing on beagles, and we posted the video as a
Mm-hmm.
local college, Holyoke. It's like the first time I saw grass, and then Stooley adopted the dog and kept me updated for like years. It was great.
Well, if A&M is actually doing that, I'll make sure to speak out about it. How about
Please
that?
do.
Brandon? I will do my research on it. Let's go to the Phillips Norelco Locks of the Week. Phillips Norelco One Blade is the one tool that will let you trim, edge, and shave any length of facial hair. So, Brandon, we're going to start with you. You are 4-2 on the season. What you got for us this week?
I would like to show you guys how mature I am, that I can put aside rivalries.
Okay.
I am always right on Auburn, and they are not good, and they're going to lose this weekend. They're 3-point favorites on the road at Ole Miss. Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, they can score points. Auburn, Bo Nix stinks. Ole Miss plus 130 money line to win the game.
Oh,
against
wow.
Auburn.
Wow.
I don't like it, but I just see it.
But that's what you have to go
I
with.
got the same fucking pick.
I do
There you go.
too.
Whoa!
I mean, and listen,
Yeah,
and
I
Big
don't
Ev is
take
6-0.
Auburn now.
So, okay.
Yeah,
so
Big Ev is 6.
So who's got to change?
I got
No.
Wake Forest.
No, you
So
don't
I'm
have to
different.
change.
nobody has to
Nobody
change. Nobody has to
Nobody
change. You guys can all be on the same
I'd be more
block.
likely to take Auburn just based on that we all think that's so obvious.
So all 3 of you are on Ole Miss.
I have Ole Miss money line to beat
I,
Auburn.
I kind of want to change, but
Me too, Big Ev.
You guys change.
I'm on Notre Dame
Last
minus
week
10
I
and a
changed
half.
and it worked out. For
I
me.
dove in the pool. I'll keep it.
I'm on Notre Dame versus Pitt, minus 10 and a half, but we'll
Gotta
wait.
do some board
I like
searching real
that.
quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got Wake Forest plus 10. I think they're at home, and I think they're live.
I think the way that Notre Dame played last week was just disgusting.
All right, I'm
They're
going to
gonna
change
kill Pitt.
mine. Georgia
Okay.
Southern plus 6 against Coastal.
Okay.
I like that one too.
That's a good
Coastal's
one.
first game being ranked.
Yeah.
I
Big
just
F?
didn't like everybody on the same
Give
one.
me, I'm going to go Indiana plus 6.5.
I like
Okay.
that.
All right, Blattman,
I like that
mark
one.
all of those down. We'll see if Big Ev can go 7-0. Forget about using multiple tools. The Philips Norelco One Blade does it all. Your style made simple. Philips Norelco One Blade now 20% off when you subscribe to replacement blades. Let's go back into the top 10s. The Big Ten is finally here. I've kept the Big Ten in all year, and I still have A&M. I have A&M at number 8, which, again, I have to apologize to A&M for thinking they wouldn't be in their top 10. I have Cincy at number 10, and then everything else is pretty standard here. I guess we'll see what Ohio State at 3 and Penn State looks like at 5. Dave?
Yeah, not too dissimilar. We'll put it up here. Michigan, until somebody proves they can beat them, we're Milton tough. I like that.
I love that.
Damn it, that
It's
works
so
so
good.
well for you.
Yeah, it does.
It really,
It really
is
does.
crazy.
It's
It's
just-
crazy that worked out.
Writes itself.
A&M is in there, and I guess you could say they could be ahead of Georgia, really. Pretty basic.
All right, Big Ev.
BYU
Oh, yeah.
sucks that they don't get to play anybody else. I think they're off now. They have nobody left on the schedule.
Big Ev?
Yeah, I mean, I got a pretty similar list. I threw in some Big Ten, all undefeated teams, all teams with no losses. BYU has been back, was impressive, I thought, against Houston, so I threw them back in as well.
Indiana?
I think they're a sleeper Big Ten
I
team.
think they're
really
good,
do.
but I mean,
No,
I
Oklahoma
think-
State?
Oklahoma State is.
I mean, like
The Big 12 is.
I know, they're just undefeated.
Big 12 stinks.
Yeah. Okay.
Indiana, I just think is going to be. I think they're going to surprise some people this year.
That's crazy. I feel like that's a team that they say that every year, and they
Every
just
year.
never.
Every year.
All right, Brandon?
Yeah, I just don't know where all the good teams are. Like, I've got the same list everybody else does. The top 3 I know are really good. Notre Dame, I got up there. I believe in them. They had a bad game last week. I kept Florida in mind just because, I don't know. I
have
think we
Florida
punished
at 9.
them too much when they got beat
But
by
that-
A&M.
how do you
I
have-
don't know
how
why.
do you
I
have-
just made a mistake.
Okay.
I made a mistake. Texas A&M should
All
be
right.
7 and Florida should be 8. I just looked at it.
makes no sense.
I just made that a mistake. And I kept Miami in there. I think we also just dismissed Miami as soon as they lost to Clemson. I don't think we should dismiss them as much as we have. They bounce back and look fine.
Yeah, Clemson's just really, really good. Okay, Dan, finish us out.
No one giving respect to Marshall. Marshall's look great. Throw my board up there. This is, I mean, it's the same rule that I've played since the beginning. You have to have played games to be on my top 10. So next week I will adjust with some Big Ten teams.
The right side of your thing looks like an Easter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
I
Marshall.
feel like
None of these
still in North
teams,
Carolina.
I love
none of these teams have lost.
I feel like the
Del
green for
City.
Marshall needs to be
Coastal.
greener.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
does
None
look
of these
Easter egg.
teams have lost. All of these teams
A&M
look
lost.
good. Oh, A&M is the one loss. Oh, yeah, North Carolina. So, yeah, that I actually struggled to find.
Well, A&M lost to Alabama.
It's hard to
Nine
find.
How
and
can
10.
you have North Carolina in there?
Yeah.
Because I just still think that they're, I mean, that, like I said, those 3 drops, I don't know. If you gave me the top 10, like who else is up there? I
I
would
didn't
take
see it.
them
Put
over.
yours up again.
I'd
You
take
know-
them over Florida.
Can we put
I
Dan's
believe I had
up
Florida
again?
over A&M.
Yeah.
That's just a
Yeah.
rookie mistake.
It's okay.
I guess you're doing
it
the
happens.
teams that played, right?
Yeah, it's got to be teams that played. You have to have played. You can't.
Like played the week before? Or
No,
played
you
in
have to have
general?
played in general.
Okay.
You can't.
So he just doesn't have Big Ten, Pac-12, or any
Yeah.
other.
Right. So
No,
who,
I get
I mean,
Who would
you can
go
make
in?
an argument for Florida, Miami.
Yeah, I would say both of those over because
I don't
Florida,
know.
North Carolina loss is way worse than those two.
I don't know. That's. I mean, Florida State was. That game was fucking crazy. That was just. They got
bad,
jumped
though.
on, and then they, you know.
But they are much better with the new quarterback. A different
Yeah.
team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, guys, anything else?
No, Big Ten football.
Big Ten football. It's
Big
finally
Ten
here.
football.
God bless the Big Ten. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
One thing to remember when you're gambling on the Barstool Sportsbook app, make sure that you gamble responsibly. Know your odds, know your chances of losing.
Gamble responsibly. Nobody wants to end up in a trash can.
You can play with Penn National, which is a licensed and regulated operator. Big words. If you have a problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.